is Aloore Radio, transmitting from Ibadan.
A very wonderful morning to you out there. You're welcome to your darling program, Newspaper Review, on Aloore Radio, transmitting from GSM Studio at the Ministry of Information, Culture and Tourism, Secretariat Agodi, Ibadan. My name is Olukemi Omotosho, and I have with me the Nigerian Tribune and the Punch newspaper. The first story I'm going to read is from the Nigerian Tribune. It says, suppliers of adulterated fuel must face the law. Buhari, with riders, NNPC names defaulting importers. IPMAN directs members to compile inventory of affected customers. Rep calls for probe of NNPC's SON orders. Fuel scarcity, NATO threatens to withdraw services. That can be found on page 6 and 7 of the Nigerian Tribune. And this is a sad one. It says, 2 policemen, 2 civilians killed as robbers attack bullion van in Ibadan. And power must shift to the south in 2023. Ethnic nationalities insist. With riders, Afenifere backs Akeredolu, says south not against the north. North will field candidate. Your threat can't work. CNG tells Akeredolu. That is on page 3 of the Nigerian Tribune. And CBN to stop sales of forex to banks in 2022, says Nigeria to earn $200 billion in forex repatriation from non-oil exports. And that can be found on page 7 of the Nigerian Tribune. This one says 18 Zamfara Assembly members vote for removal of deputy governor. Page 3 of the Nigerian Tribune. Osun 2022, APC screens Oyetola, Lasun, Adeoti. Page 2 of the Nigerian Tribune. And this one says, don't interfere with Nigerian politics. Buhari wants diplomats. Page 2 of the Nigerian Tribune. And court orders Ibadan Baales to stop wearing crowns, cronets. Page 29. Kwara explains takeover of Shonga farm by AMCON. Page 25 of the Nigerian Tribune. NURTW boss, 4 others arrested as crisis hits union in Lagos. That can be found on page 27 of the Nigerian Tribune. Military gunship kills 37 bandits in Niger. 1 soldier dies in Kaduna. Page 26 of the Nigerian Tribune. And Boko Haram insurgency will end by 2023, but no governor. That is a good one if it is achieved. Page 27 of the Nigerian Tribune. Power must shift to the south in 2023. Ethnic nationalities insist. On the front page of the Punch newspaper, I have this one that says, Oyo bullion van robbers, Enugu gunmen kills 5 policemen. Orders found on page 4 and 5. And with riders, Ibadan motorcyclists killed, commuters shot, hoodlums cut away cash, motorists fled, 3 policemen manning Enugu checkpoint killed, POS man shot, woman abducted. And I have the same story of CBN on page 22 of the Punch newspaper. It says CBN to stop forex sales to banks by December, targets 200 billion non-oil exports. And electoral bill, National Assembly carpets Malami over self-interest comment. Page 2 of the Punch newspaper. Reps quiz Finance Ministry for 17 billion unapproved spending. That can be found on page 23. NDLEA seizes 2 billion naira drug in containers from India at Lagos port. That is found on page 5 of the Punch newspaper. The rep remanded over 185 million naira 419 case. Bail application fails. page 25 of the Punch newspaper. Driver bags life jail for raping Unilag women society school pupil. That is on page 5 of the Punch newspaper. And presidency, Tambuwal meets Katsina stakeholders, laments deep division, page 9 of the Punch newspaper. Students protest, suspect named as awaiting copper. Osun motorcyclist killed. That can be found on page 5 of the Punch newspaper. NNPC may spend 201 billion naira.
ilé Ọ̀yọ́ ẹ̀rí bí ní ètò ẹ̀kọ́ wa ṣe ń jògèrè LAUTECH ti di tìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ilé ìwòsàn alábọ́dé bíi 40 ló ti wẹ̀wọ̀ ọ̀tún pẹ̀lú àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ tòun tòògùn àti irinṣẹ́ tó pójú owó iṣẹ́ sì ti fẹ́ẹ̀ parí pẹ̀lú lórí 100 míì ìdákẹ́jàdó ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ààbò tó dájú ohun amáyédẹrùn ní ìṣokùnfà ìdásílẹ̀ iléeṣẹ́ ńláńlá láwùjọ òun náà nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ fi wà nípò kẹta nínú àwọn ìpínlẹ̀ tí ń pawó wọlé jùlọ lábẹ́lé nílẹ̀ wa ọ̀pọ̀ ọ̀dọ́ ló ti láǹfààní ẹ̀kọ́ṣẹ́ iṣẹ́ àgbẹ̀ lọ́nà ti gbàlódé táṣeyọrí yóò sì jẹ́ kó ń jẹ́ sùn wá bọ̀ láìpẹ́ nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ àtòṣìṣẹ́ fẹ̀yìntì ń gbowó wọn lásìkò pápá àṣírí Adámàsìngbà àtàwọn inú ojú pópó tí ń sòrú dọ̀sán kọ́ àwọn ìlú ti sọ pásì ìwádùn níṣèjọba yìí fi ń mọ rírì gbogbo àwọn aláṣẹ gómìnà Ṣèyí Mákindé ló ń sọ fún wa pé pẹ̀lú ìṣọ̀kan wa oòrùn tó kù lókè yìí ó táṣọ gbẹ.
iléeṣẹ́ ètò ìròyìn àṣà ohun ìrìn àjò afẹ́ tìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ló ń kéde.
SafeMusicList.com. Royalty-free music for marketing and promotion videos.
You're welcome back to Newspaper Review on Aloore Radio, transmitting from GSM Studio at the Ministry of Information, Culture and Tourism, Secretariat, Agodi, Ibadan. You can like and share on Facebook at www.facebook.com/Aloore Radio. On YouTube it is at Aloore Radio. Our website remains www.alooreradio.com. Our studio lines are opened. You can call us for comments and questions. 09039853731 is the number. The first story I'm going to read is from page 6 of the Nigerian Tribune. Suppliers of adulterated fuel must face law. Buhari. President Muhammadu Buhari has ordered relevant government agencies to hold accountable producers and providers of consumable products for substandard services or products sold by them. This followed the current outrage over the adulterated premium motor spirits (PMS) circulating in parts of the country and doing damage to consumers' vehicles. The president has now backed the call for compensations to affected consumers as he posted that they are entitled to the redress of their complaints. A statement issued by Garba Shehu, Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Thursday quoted the President as saying that his administration's priority remained the protection of consumers' interests. The statement reads, and I quote, "The President has also given directives to the relevant government agencies to take every step in line with the law of the country to ensure the respect and protection of consumer against market abuses and social injustice." In a reaction to the issue of petroleum product shortage linked to the inadvertent supply of products of foreign origin into the Nigerian market, President Buhari said the protection of consumer interests is a priority of the present administration and it is ready to take all necessary measures to protect consumers from hazardous products, loss or injury from the consumption of substandard goods. The President directed that in line with the law, service providers must make full disclosure of relevant information with respect to the consumption of their products and that the satisfied consumers are entitled to a proper redress of their complaints. For the rest of that story, turn to page 6 of the Nigerian Tribune. Suppliers of adulterated fuel must face law. Buhari. And still on fuel, I have this one from page 7 of the Nigerian Tribune. Fuel scarcity. NATO threatens to withdraw services. Which a rider says petroleum haulage no longer profitable. Asks NNPC to review freight charges. The Nigerian Association of Road Transport Owners, NATO, has alerted the federal government that the present shortfall in petroleum products across retail outlets in the country could be worsened, except the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited and the downstream middle stream regulatory authority NDMPRA accede to its demand for upward review of freight charges. Addressing newsmen in Abuja on Thursday, National President of NATO, Alhaji Yusuf Lawal Othman, said the present freight charges is overregulated by downstream midstream regulatory authority NDMPRA without due regard to prevailing economic and market conditions. The NATO president recalled that 2 years ago, an approval for the defunct board of the Petroleum Products Pricing Regulatory Agency PPPRA to increase the freight rate by 26%, for which the endorsement of the Honorable Minister of State for Petroleum Resources was needed for implementation, did not sail through because, and I quote, the fear of overall implication on the price of premium motor spirits PMS or led to an increase in the subsidy on the products, neither of which the government was ready to do at the time. Fuel scarcity. NATO threatens to withdraw services. Turn to page 7 for the rest of that story. And talking of forex, Nigeria to earn $200 billion in forex repatriation from non-oil exports, CBN, which the writer says forex sales to banks end in 2022. Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Mr. Godwin Emefiele, has projected that Nigeria will achieve $200 billion FX repatriation from non-oil exports over the next 3 to 5 years. He said this on Thursday in Abuja while announcing the Bankers Committee RT200 FX program. According to him, the RT200 FX program is a set of policies, plans and programs for non-oil exports that will enable us attain our lofty yet attainable goal of $200 billion in FX repatriation exclusively from non-oil exports over the next 3 to 5 years, Emefiele explained. For the rest of that story, turn to page 7 of the Nigerian Tribune. Nigeria to earn $200 billion in forex repatriation from non-oil exports. That is from CBN. On politics, I have a story that says, don't interfere with Nigerian politics, Buhari warns diplomats. Ahead of the 2023 general elections, President Muhammadu Buhari has advised diplomats in the country to stay within the limits of their schedules and not interfere in Nigerians' internal politics. He gave the admonition at the presidential villa, Abuja, during the presentation of letters of credence by the ambassador of Czech Republic, Zdeněk Krejcik, Italy, Stefano de la Ho, and Spain, Joan Ignacio Sel's son, and Israel Michael Schwal Freeman. The president had made a similar call in October last year while receiving letters of credence from some newly deployed ambassadors to the country. While welcoming the envoy on Thursday, the president said, and I quote, "You are assuming your diplomatic responsibilities in Nigeria at a very interesting political period, as Nigeria's national elections are due in early 2023. As you settle down in the face of this development, it is my hope that you will also be guided by diplomatic practice to ensure that your activities remain within the limits of your profession as you monitor the build-up to and the conduct of the general election next year." For details of that story, turn to page 2 of the Nigerian Tribune. Don't interfere with Nigerian politics, Buhari warns diplomats. And Nigeria needs inclusive transport leadership for good governance, TNA declares. As Nigeria inches towards another general election in 2023, Nigerians have been called upon to, as a matter of necessity, clamor for a new leadership that will ensure inclusiveness and transparency in the government. The call was made by various speakers during the inaugural Northeast Zonal meeting of a new political pressure group, the Nigeria Agenda (TNA), held at the Command Guest House, Bauchi State. One of the speakers, an elder statesman, Yerima Aliu Giade, stressed the need for leaders with exceptional character and skills as they are critical to Nigerians' development, adding that the next election should be devoid of ethno-religious sentiments. He said, and I quote, "We want continuity and a person with a good agenda, so the project is timely. We want an agenda with us," he noted. Yerima Aliu then declared his support for the Nigeria Agenda and its mission, saying that the program will translate well in the choice of next leadership for the country. Nigeria needs inclusive, transparent leadership for good governance, TNA declares. That is on page 2 of the Nigerian Tribune. Check for details. Still on politics, power must shift to South in 2023. Ethnic nationalities insist. With riders, Afenifere expresses full support for Akeredolu, and South is not against the law. North. The Pan-Yoruba socio-political organization Afenifere has expressed full support for the position of Southern Governors Forum (SGF) on the need for power to shift to the South in 2023. The expression of support was contained in a release issued by the National Publicity Secretary of Afenifere, Comrade Jare Ajayi, following the criticism of Akeredolu by Te Arewa consultative hatred for the North. For the rest of that story, turn to page 3 of the Nigerian Tribune. Power must shift to South in 2023. Ethnic nationalities insist. And on page 4 of the Punch newspaper, I have the sad story on robbery attack of yesterday. It says 2 policemen, motorists killed as gunmen attack bullion van in Aloore. 2 policemen and a civilian have been confirmed dead after armed robbers attacked a bullion van conveying money from a bank on Iwo Road to the Diakwe area of Ibadan, Oyo State. Punch Metro gathered that one of the hoodlums was also killed during the shootout with the police. The incident happened around 1:35 p.m. on Thursday in the Idiakwe area, where the robbers reportedly waylaid the bullion van. Eyewitnesses told correspondents that the bullion van was heading towards the gate area of Ibadan when the armed hoodlums, who were in a Toyota Sienna, overtook the van and opened fire on the occupants and the police escorts. One of the victims reportedly killed was an Okada rider who was oblivious to the mission of the occupants of the Sienna. I pray for the repose of the souls of those that departed. And for the rest of that story, you can turn to page 4 and 5 of the Punch newspaper. 2 policemen, motorcyclists killed as gunmen attacked bullion van in Aloore. And on drugs, NDLEA seizes 2 billion naira drug in containers from India at Lagos port. Operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency have intercepted 40,250 kilograms of codeine worth over 2 billion naira imported in 2 40-feet containers from India. The drug bust comes on the heels of a similar seizure of 14,080 kg codeine syrup and 4,352.4 kg cold caps used to conceal the former in a 4-feet container imported from India on February 2nd, 2022 at the Apapa Sea port. The spokesman for the NDLEA, Femi Babafemi, confirmed the development in a statement on Thursday. For over 17 billion extra budgetary spending from the Sovereign Wealth Fund SWF under its control between 2016 and 2019. The chairman of the committee, Oluwole Oke, gave the directives at an investigative hearing following an audit query issued by the Office of the Auditor General of the Federation